Hi guys, my name is Celine and this is my 1 year plus lock extension update. As you can see, seborrheic dermatitis is coming for my life. It took out my edges. If you see that scar about 2 inches down my forehead, you could tell that the dermatitis spread to my skin. I even have dry skin around my nose. So this video is showing you my solution to the problem as recommended by another lock friend of mine. He suggested Head and Shoulders shampoo and I could not find that, so we're going to try an alternative in the form of a Selsun blue shampoo as well as a Head and Shoulders medicated spray. So we're gonna start off with Loc Day. I don't wash my hair in the shower anymore. I don't know why. At some point I transitioned to the wash tub in my laundry, so I just invert my head, and before putting anything on my scalp or anywhere, I just rinse out the excess debris or dirt that might be lodged in my new growth, because I don't want it to get trapped in between that space between the mature lock and the new growth. I just agitate my scalp a little bit, the root of the scalp. I agitate the locks a little bit. I have no idea where this issue with seborrheic dermatitis came from. My mom does have dandruff, but I realized this was not dandruff, okay? It was like having hair drier than the Sahara Desert. So this is the Selsun blue shampoo and it's medicated. It has menthol in it, I think. And I was really scared it was gonna burn my eyes, but it didn't. Well, I avoided contact with my eyes at all costs, but I started massaging it into my scalp. I started from the scalp, go down. And I have a strange method of washing my hair. Anyone who has locks, let me know if this is how you do it, or if I'm being too rough and tough. Of course, I massage my scalp with the shampoo because my scalp is the affected area, but I also wash my locks like I'm hand washing clothes. You're gonna see what I mean in a bit. Of course, I make sure that my tub is clean because my locks are going to be touching the base of the bath, so I make sure that's clean first. And this is what I'm talking about. This is how I wash my locks, the shaft of the lock, because I'm so scared of dirt being lodged at the top of the mature lock, because you know, as much as we try to wash locks, like things get lodged in it, and I'd rather that not be dirt or sweat. So this is my process for trying to get the shaft of the lock as clean as possible. This is definitely a process. I thought having locks meant that wash day would be easier, and it is in a sense. I don't have to, you know, sit underneath a dryer or pre-poo or you know, do a whole set of treatments, because with locks less is definitely more. But in terms of the toll it takes on my neck and my back, when locks are wet, it's a lot. So that has been, it's taken more of a physical toll and less of a time constraint toll, but I wouldn't trade my locks for anything in the world. If it's one thing about locks, they're very telling on your personal life. So I have been going through a lot the past couple of years, and like I could see like every couple of inches it shows how it's been affecting So like if you just go down the hair shaft, you could see when I was taking care of my locks the most and when I was taking care of it the least. And also there's been this situation where some locks have been too thin for my liking, so I've joined them, and this was between 2 or 3 locticians and they all joined my locks in different ways. Some of them joined like 2 whole locks together, some of them cut one at the new growth and tried to incorporate that into an existing lock. And I think in general people would be very upset with the inconsistencies in their locks, but I've decided to make this a journey, my personal journey. People already told me that I cheated myself out of the journey by starting with lock extensions, but I knew my situation. I knew that I was not about to go get starter locks. I have been natural for a minute now. I think I went natural in 2011, January 2011, and trust me, I had a big chop. I have built enough character for a lifetime. I don't need to be doing this over and over again every single time. I just need to make sure that my scalp is clean and cleansed, and I wash 2 to 3 times. So I repeated this process over and over again. So this is my hair. It's completely clean, and you're gonna notice specks of dry scalp still remaining. Listen, no matter how many times you wash your hair with locks, there are gonna be specks remaining, especially if you have problems with dry scalp, dandruff, or seborrheic dermatitis, because unlike loose hair where you could wash out something from the shaft, like from the strand of hair, like the debris has no place to necessarily go, especially if it's stuck at the base of at the root of the hair strand. So my process is just flicking or brushing or hand picking as much as possible of that dry scalp out of my hair. But most importantly, I continue to stand my hair and just allow my hair to dry. Once the hair is dry, because what you have to realize is that the water remoisturizes the dry scalp and it becomes almost like rubber, really difficult to move. So once my hair dries within this style, then it's easier to brush out that dry scalp off of the clean hair, because the dry scalp has nothing to necessarily cling to, like it has no oil to act as an adhesive. So that's my process. Any other locked persons wants to give me or others advice in the comment section, feel free to do so. But right now I'm putting in that Head and Shoulders medicated hairspray and just massaging it into my scalp, making sure that my scalp absorbs it. Now I'm using 2 products. That went really quickly, but in the description box I'll put a link to it. It's the, I think I'm pronouncing this correctly, I'm not sure, Taliah Waajid Tight Hold Loc pomade or Loc Gel, and I use this to do my retwist. It says tight hold, but it's really a light hold. I am gonna put a more detailed how-to on how I flat twist the front of my hair and retwist my entire head. I have rectangles, like the pattern at the front of my hair for my locks is more rectangular, the back is more square, or some places they're triangles. And I do that because the front of my hair is really thin, so I don't want to put as much tension, so I always have to do a sort of flat twist at the front of my hair. But this is like just a little demonstration on how I flat twist my hair. It took a year for me to figure out how to do this, okay? I was looking around looking a hot mess when I did not have a professional loctician to retwist my hair because I was just so lost on how to do it, but I think I finally gotten the hang of it. The secret is to make sure that your hair is wet, especially if you have hair like mine that's fine or spongy or really coily or 4C. Make sure that your hair is wet so that by the time that the hair dries on with the product, it's a little bit more stiff and your style and retwist will last a lot longer and your parts will be more visible. At least that's my process. I'm not sure about anyone else. Again, I'm going to put a more detailed video with more in-depth instructions, I could say, about, you see, I have to pick it out. You have to pick it out by hand. That would have never washed away. But here is me halfway through the process. It's not a perfect retwist. I am semi-free-forming, so it's not meant to look neat. It's meant to look natural. And those are the products. Tight hold, that I have no idea what the name of that is. And again, the Head and Shoulders, which makes my scalp feel so good and tingly and happy. This, by the way, is 3 days after, okay, without sleeping with a bonnet. I don't like sleeping with bonnets, not because I don't really like to, but I'm lazy and I forget to go and get it. But I use different products for the front of my hair than I do for the back because, again, the back is thicker. I get my hair professionally retwisted maybe 3 times a year, but other than that, I do it myself because I really want to allow my hair to thicken up a bit. Stay tuned for part 2. Okay, so I'm gonna show how I spray my scalp with the spray. Alright. I didn't expect it to feel like this though. It feels a little weird.